we talk some Clemson football since we got Jason Priester here? He's the best guy I know around to talk some Clemson football. You can read up on the Tigers on the Baseball Diamond and in football with Jason at ClemsonTigers.com. JP, what's going on today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I am doing just fine. Well, on the recruiting trail, tracking a couple guys in particular who may announce soon. One of them for sure says he's going to announce his commitment.
Yeah, a couple of 2024 guys nearing the end. One of them is offensive lineman Blake FRANKS, guy, Clemson fans have been tracking for a long time now. He's a local kid out of Greenville. Been on Clemson's radar a long time. It looked like Clemson was going to land him towards the end of last year, and he kept pushing his decision back, pushing it back. And South Carolina got into it and really made a push. And they're probably going to end up landing this kid. He announces Friday night. And let's say if he does announce for South Carolina, Clemson fans are probably going to not like that very much, because this is going to be a kid South Carolina just straight up beats Clemson for. Make no mistake. Clemson was in the lead. South Carolina just came and took him. They've got some recruiting momentum out on the trail right now. Make no mistake. But if you step back and take a bigger picture and dive a little deeper into it, if this kid was not an in-state guy and right here in Greenville, would he even be on Clemson's radar if he was from Mississippi or Alabama? I mean, I'm not one that pays very much attention to recruiting rankings, but if you look at him and you look at FRANKS, he's ranked outside of the top 400, probably closer to 500 and 400. He's what I would consider a project guy. He's got a high ceiling, but he's not a guy that's going to come in to Clemson and play as a freshman, maybe not even as a sophomore. He's a guy that's going to take some time and need to develop. I think he sees a clearer path to the field earlier at South Carolina. I think that played a big part in this thing here. But before you get hung up on, who you miss on, I would wait and see who Clemson ends up landing in his place. I would be willing to bet it's a guy a little more polished than what FRANKS is right now. And it sounds like I'm knocking on FRANKS as a player. And let me be clear, I think he is a very good offensive line prospect. I just think he is a kid that needs some development at the collegiate level. And I think Clemson will end up landing somebody a little more polished than he is coming out of high school before it's all said and done.
Sounds like you're telling me, Jason, that recruiting can look like a lot of other places in life where it becomes less about what the commodity or the value is and more about the ego, and we need to beat our rival and we need to take what they could possibly have. And it becomes more about that than it actually does a talent acquisition.
Well, from a perception standpoint, Clemson's kind of taking it on the chin. If you're just looking at it from a perception standpoint here, in state, there's been 3 big offensive line talents in this state, in this class: Cam Pringle, Josiah Thompson, and those are 2 very highly rated guys, and then Blake FRANKS. And it looks like South Carolina's going to get all 3 of them. They've already got Pringle. Thompson, heck, I don't even track him no more because I think he's already set a commitment date, but I don't even, like I said, I don't even track him anymore because I've had him pegged to South Carolina all along. He's from Dillon. That's been a pipeline to South Carolina. He grew up a South Carolina fan. And Pringle was a guy that I didn't think Clemson was ever realistically in it for. Well, I shouldn't say that. They were in it, but I don't think they ever had a very realistic shot at landing him. I've had several conversations with him over the past year, and just seems like a guy that he's on the 3-year plan. And if you're on the 3-year plan as an offensive lineman, you probably need to play as a freshman. And I think he can do that at South Carolina far easier than he can do it at Clemson. Clemson's offensive line room has got some – while it is definitely underperformed the last year or so, last couple of years, there's some talent there to work with, and there would be a pecking order if he were to come to Clemson. It was the path to the field as a freshman wouldn't be as clear cut, so to speak. But yeah, if we're talking from a perception standpoint, Clemson's kind of taking it on the chin a little bit in these in-state offensive linemen here in this cycle. But again, to me, you got to wait and see who it is you end up with. especially when it comes to a guy like Blake Franks. I think Clemson's going to be fine missing on him. They'll end up with somebody probably a little more polished coming out of high school. And, it is what it is. You're not going to win them all anyways.
No, you're not. And Clemson going back to the state of Georgia to hopefully for them get HEVIN Brown Schuler, defensive lineman. They usually hit on these guys, 6'4", 290.
Yeah, this is another one that we're nearing the end. He has not set a commitment date, but it is coming here in the near future. I wouldn't guess I couldn't tell you if it's going to be a week from now, 2 weeks from now, or what, but it's coming. He's already announced his recruitment shutdown. This is a guy that has been a priority target for Clemson for quite some time. He has been to campus numerous times over the past year, seen him at multiple games last year. He has been the top target at defensive tackle. Clemson's only taken 2. So if they land him, they'll be done at defensive tackle. They've already got Champ Thompson in the fold. He committed earlier this year. But this is another one that, at one time looked like it was going to come down to a Clemson-South Carolina battle because Brown Schuler used to live in Columbia, got some family ties to South Carolina. But Clemson's been the leader in this one far and away for a long time, and I fully expect him to jump on board whenever it is he does commit.
Yeah, so Brown Schuler, according to the composites, number 125 in the nation, number 16 defensive lineman, number 21 in the state of Georgia. We got Jason Priester here from ClemsonTigers.com. Join him right there, covering some baseball these days and also Clemson spring football.